Healthy Minds was established in May 2010. The reason why it was established because there was a number of suicides within the travelling community in both Cork City and County. The HSE and the Traveller Health Unit within the HSE and the traveller groups in Cork City and County felt that there needed to be a standalone project that identified the needs of the travelling community when it came to mental health issues.
How do I know if I have a mental health issue?
Yeah, sometimes it's not very clear to the individual themselves that they're going through a difficult time. Sometimes it's up to family members or friends that may say, look, Johnny, I think there's something wrong with you. We notice you're withdrawn or you don't seem to be coping very well. So maybe to be mindful of what other people may see as well. But also in yourself, you might find yourself you're not sleeping very well. You're not eating very well, or you may be overeating. You may be relying on alcohol, you may be relying on other forms of medication, should we say. You're probably not communicating with other people. You're withdrawn from social events and all that, which is a good strong indicator that there is something maybe happening for you, that you're not coping.
I knew for a long time there was something wrong, and I didn't know what it was. And he being a traveller man, he'd never open up. He never told me. I noticed too, he wasn't doing things he used to do. He wasn't talking much. One day, look, he tried to commit suicide.
What should you do if you or someone you know needs help?
I think the most important thing is to firstly engage with your GP, I think, because they really are a signposting to direct you into different services as well. I know I've had clients who come to me first and I will always signpost them back to the GP. Now on occasions they'll say, look, I'm kind of a bit scared, I'm a bit afraid to talk to the GP about this. So no, I get on the phone to the GP and say, look, I have Timmy here, he's having a bit of problems at the moment. He'd like to talk to you about it, but he's very uncomfortable, A, waiting in the waiting room, and B, talking about what's going on for him. Would it be okay if I attend with him as well? And all the GPs so far I've approached about that have been very open to that idea. All right, I'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
And then I went to the doctor, and that's when they transferred me. I got help from Lorraine, the outreach team, and they were very, very good. And John Walsh from the Traveller Healthy Minds project. He came on the scene and was extremely helpful to my husband. And not just to my husband, to me as well. They put questions to me to put to him. I kind of knew what to do then, and I coped better with it.
What happens next?
So I suppose one of the more important roles we would have is that we would help the individuals kind of navigate their way through all the mental health services and all the mental health groups within the country and county and city as well, because there's so much help out there. But most people probably may not be aware of it, or they may not be in the position to kind of look at themselves. They're not feeling too great, they don't know where to go. We're there to help them to do that. So an individual can come see me, or I'll go to see them, and I'll talk to them and see what's the best approach for them. So with that, we would look at the different organisations, and I would say maybe this could best suit you, and I would contact them on their behalf and maybe meet with them, with the individual as well, and see how they feel. Are they comfortable enough to engage with that service as well?
My husband will be in there for a while, and look, he has his good days and his bad days. It's a long journey. It's a long journey you have to take every day as it comes. You have to stand and be strong.
What can I expect?
I would say a lot of the services can be a very slow process in a sense, and I think it's deliberately done that way because they don't want to kind of rush the individuals into it. Because when you have mental health issues, you're still quite fragile, should we say, and you're not feeling 100% sure about where you're going or what's happening and all that. So it's going to be a lot of kind of slow care, should we say, a lot of talk and maybe and you won't be forced to talk about anything you're particularly uncomfortable with, but it could be just general conversations.
My husband didn't want help. I got it for him. He didn't want help. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to see no one. They actually came to my home. They visit me. And they talked to him, and they were talking to him until eventually they got through to him. What I'm trying to say about these doctors, only for their support being there, my husband probably wouldn't be here today. They got him to the help he wanted. I asked for it. I don't mean in days, I mean in hours. They arrived at my home. Only for them, I have them to thank. You understand now, and they actually got him help. And look, I can't say enough for the outreach crisis team in St. Mary's on the Hill.
Do they understand travellers?
They are very open to the idea of trying to get an understanding of what traveller culture is, what travellers are experiencing, how it impacts on their mental health as well. All organisations are now open up to the idea that travellers are a different culture to the settled community, and they have different experiences to us as well. And they're very much open to understanding and working and helping with them.
I have to tell you now, for traveller culture, they were very understanding. They were now, being honest. Don't ever be afraid to make any statement, because these understand travellers. They understand their cultures. They don't tell anyone about anyone. So I can't say enough for them.
How do I take that first step?
It's a very big step to take when you're trying to engage, or even to admit to yourself that you may have mental health issues. In the past there has been stigma, people were afraid to open up and talk about it. But now people are much more open about it, people are much more accepting about it, to be honest with you. I would say the majority of people have been impacted by mental health issues sometime in their life. Mental health does not see culture, does not see gender, age, doesn't see money or any of that. So it's breaking down that stigma to realise we have all been impacted, and there's nothing wrong and there's nothing to be ashamed about when you have mental health issues.
That was an awful big thing for him, to actually sit down and to talk to a doctor about something. To me, it would be like trying to win the lotto. These actually got through to him, and I told him that before he went in, but they actually did do it. So their service have to be helpful when they help my family and me.
Can I be cured?
It does work. It works if you put the work in as well. I think that's what's important. It can't be a one-way street as such. And it's very important that if you're open to the engagement, if you're open to the therapeutic process, it can work. It will be a long journey. It can be a painful journey when you start opening up about things as well, But at the same time, it's very rewarding, because when you start realising, hang on, things have changed for me. I'm starting to engage, I'm starting to talk to people. I'm starting to go out again. I don't feel the nerves I used to feel.
Yeah, he loves seeing them. Loves seeing them now, because some days he's been bad. They can go in, they can actually talk to him, and he feels a lot better. No matter what he says to them, I don't know, but he feels better. He knows them and he enjoys their company now, and they know him. They can tell by one look if he's having a good day or a bad day. They can. That's how good they are. And be honest, lads, look, they're for everyone. They're for settled and travellers.
Do I have to keep on seeing someone?
It's very important that you continue with the aftercare. Unfortunately, one thing we have seen, and the mental health services have seen as well, is that they'll attend the assessment and medication may be prescribed, but medication is only a short-term thing as well, should we say. The aftercare, which is, as I mentioned earlier, about one-to-one and group work and socialisation and such like that, that's where the treatment really is at the moment, So it's very important to re-attend each appointment that is provided for you, because that's where the work will be, and that's where you will get better. Without it, there will be no improvement in your mental health. So I really do ask people to re-engage and to continue to engage with the various different groups out there and the treatment plan put in place for your own benefit, because it can be treated and you can get better and start living a more fulfilled life again.
What advice? Don't ever be afraid to ask for help, because I think it's time for travellers to wake up and put their pride into their pocket and ask for a little bit more help.